Hi, my name is Mr. Johns and welcome to Dance and Drama Matters. Today's question is, how can I manipulate my dance? And when I'm talking about manipulating, I'm talking about manipulating your dance, not manipulating your parents into buying new things. I kind of think that's why you're here. Last week we were learning all about what a choreographic device is, and we learned that they fit into two categories. So manipulating and making. And we learned a making choreographic device, which is called universal writing. So remember, making choreographic devices are for when we want to create new moves, and manipulating choreographic devices are for when we want to change our movements into something more interesting or something that has stronger meaning to the audience. And today we'll be learning one new making choreographic device and, drumroll, 3 manipulating choreographic devices. 3 of them! 1, 2, 3. Like, you're not learning 1 today, you're gonna learn 3. Your minds are gonna just be filled with all of this dance knowledge by the end of this. Let's start our warm-up by learning about our new making choreographic device. And that's called improvisation. So you might have heard about improvisation, or some people shorten it to improv. Hey, you might have heard improv before. What improv or improvisation is it's a spontaneous response to a stimulus. So lots of big words there. So spontaneous means automatic. So it's happening really quickly as soon as you see it or hear about it or think about it. And a stimulus is basically an idea or a concept or something that sparks your ideas and your thoughts. So for example, a stimulus could be your cat, your dog, an idea, a video, your mum, your dad, a long lost third cousin, twice removed, anything. A stimulus is just anything that gives you an idea and it prompts your thoughts that you might want to create a dance about. So if I say the word beach, what does that make you think of? So beach is our stimulus, and all of the things that you're thinking of are things that you could create a dance about. So for me, when I think of beach, I think of the sea, I think of sand, I think of waves, I think of the wind blowing in the grass, I think of kids playing, I think of crabs scuttling along the sand. I also think of like beach balls and sand castles. You could take any of those ideas and create some movement to it. That's improvising. That's what improvisation is. So another stimulus for you could be flowers, and you could think about how a flower grows. So you could start with the bulb, and the roots come out of the bulb, and then the stem starts to grow at the top, it pokes out through the dirt, and it starts to grow longer and longer, and it grows one leaf, grows another leaf, and then it grows all of the petals on the head of the flower, and then the flower could turn to face the sun. Alright, so I'm going to choose the stimulus, the beach, and I'm going to think about the waves. So I'm going to create some movement and just improvise some movements about waves. Now it's your turn. Think about something that you like or something that inspires you and improvise some movement for it. So for our task today, we're going to take our improvised movement that you just did in the warm-up, and we're going to figure out some ways to manipulate it with our 3 new choreographic devices that focus on manipulating or changing moves. Hence, our learning intention is we will explore ways to manipulate movement. Makes sense, doesn't it? Listen closely and I will tell you the first one of 3 different manipulating choreographic devices we're going to learn about. The first one for today is abstraction. So abstraction's a funny one. It's actually a making device and it's a manipulating device. It's one of the only ones that's both, but we're going to learn about it in a manipulating way today. You can use abstraction to change our energy, so switching up our dynamics, maybe going from hard punching to smooth gliding. We could change our timing, so that by that I mean tempo. We could change the size of our movements, so go from small micro movements into large macro movements. Or we could even change the space, our direction and our patterns across the stage. Here's what my waves at the beach looks like after I've played around with some abstraction. And I've changed maybe my moves from small to big, or I've changed my tempo, or I've changed my space and where I do the dance. Alright, our next one is called transposition. So if we break that word down, trans means across, so from one thing to another. So if we think about transposition, we're changing our position from one place to another. So think about changing your movement across from maybe your right arm to your left arm. So say if we did the movement with our right arm, we could transpose that and move it to our left arm and do it over here. Or we could even transpose our movement and move it from our arm to our leg. So here's what our waves on the beach movement looks like after I've transposed it onto other body parts. And the last manipulating choreographic device we're going to learn today is called retrograde. Retro means backwards, and like you can think about retro clothing, we're going back in time to find those clothes. And grade means to step. So if you think about your grade at school, every time you go up a grade, you're going up a step. So if we think about retrograde, retro means backwards, grade means step. So when we put it together, it means backward step, or to step backwards, or even just to put our whole dance in reverse. So here's what the wave movement looks like in retrograde. So our success criteria for today is I can improvise movement and then manipulate it by using transposition, abstraction, and retrograde. So you need to take that warm-up movement that you created in your improvising and you need to manipulate it now by using one or more different manipulation choreographic devices. If you would like, you could use all three and you can layer them upon each other and make some really, really cool different movement. Now it's your time to create your movement. Off you go. Alright, welcome back. You should have created your moves and now it's time for you to perform it. So find someone you can perform your dance to and make sure you film it as well, because then you can watch it afterwards and see how you went. Now it's time for us to reflect on our learning. So how did you go improvising your movement? Did you find it easy or was it hard? Which manipulating choreographic device did you use? Did you use them all? And if so, which was your favourite one? Alright, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us and I'll see you next week. Bye!